All right, folks, buckle up. We're about to dive into one of the most audacious proposals in recent history. It's 2025, and Donald Trump is back with another headline-grabbing move. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, he's here to surprise us once again. This time, he set his sights on renaming the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, you heard that right. That's right, the Gulf of Mexico, a body of water known for its rich history and vital economic importance. He wants to call it the Gulf of America. A bold move, to say the least. Why? Well, according to the former president, the United States does most of the work there, and the Gulf practically belongs to America. He believes this rebranding is a way to assert American dominance. He even managed to tie this geographical rebranding to his favorite topic, immigration. In his view, renaming the Gulf would send a strong message. Trump argued that Mexico needs to get its act together and stop the flow of migrants into the US. He claims this move would pressure Mexico to take more responsibility. Naturally, the internet went wild. Memes were made, heads were scratched. People couldn't believe what they were hearing. But beyond the initial shock, a crucial question emerged. Can he actually pull this off? Legal experts and political analysts are now debating the feasibility of such a move. The world watches with bated breath. Here's the thing about renaming bodies of water, especially ones shared by multiple countries. It's not as simple as slapping a new label on a map. You can't just wake up one day and decide to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of Freedom or something. There are these things called international laws and conventions. Remember those? They exist to maintain order and consistency across the globe. See, there's this little organization called the International Hydrographic Organization, IHO. They play a crucial role in this process. They're basically the cartographers of the sea, working to standardize names for oceans, seas, and gulfs. Their job is to ensure that everyone is on the same page, or rather, the same map. While different countries might have their own names for certain bodies of water, changing a widely recognized name like the Gulf of Mexico isn't a unilateral decision. It requires international consensus. It's more like a global group project, and not everyone got the memo about renaming it after Uncle Sam. Imagine trying to get dozens of countries to agree on a new name. It's a logistical nightmare. Now, before you say, but Hassan, what about Mount McKinley? Yes, there is precedent for renaming landmarks within US borders. Remember Denali? But international waters? That's a whole different kettle of fish. Or should I say, Gulf of Shrimp. Renaming a mountain within a single country is one thing, but renaming a body of water that multiple countries share is a whole other ballgame. The complexities of international law and the need for global cooperation make such changes incredibly challenging. So next time you look at a map, remember the intricate web of agreements and negotiations that keep those names in place. Turns out, naming squabbles over bodies of water are nothing new. History is riddled with them, and they rarely end well. Take the Sea of Japan, for instance. Japan calls it that naturally. But South Korea argues the name became widespread during Japanese rule and prefers the East Sea. Then there's the never-ending saga of the Persian Gulf versus the Arabian Gulf. Iran even threatened to sue Google back in 2012 for not using their preferred nomenclature. And who could forget the South China Sea? Back in 2013, Hillary Clinton drew a parallel between China's expansive claims in the region to the US, potentially renaming the Pacific Ocean the American Sea. Spoiler alert, nobody was on board with that idea either. Section 4. From Mexico to America, the Gulf's ancient roots. Speaking of history, let's dive into the Gulf of Mexico's own backstory, shall we? It's been known by that name for over 4 centuries, long before the United States even existed. The name is believed to originate from a Native American city called Mexico, located near present-day Veracruz. Ironically, there was a previous attempt to rename part of the Gulf. In 2012, a Mississippi legislator proposed calling the portion touching their state's beaches the Gulf of America. That, my friends, sank faster than a lead weight. Section 5. Historians and experts say hold your seahorses. As you can imagine, Trump's Gulf of America proposal didn't exactly go down smoothly with historians and foreign policy experts. They predicted international backlash, and rightfully so. Renaming a body of water shared by multiple countries without their consent. That's not exactly a recipe for diplomatic harmony. Interestingly, while Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo and then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had previously spoken with Trump about trade issues, neither commented on the renaming proposal. Maybe they were too busy picking their jaws up off the floor. Analysts, however, were quick to point out that this could seriously strain North American relations, because nothing says let's be friends like unilaterally renaming your shared backyard. Section 6. Marjorie Taylor Greene jumps into the fray. Never one to miss an opportunity to make headlines, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene announced her intention to draft legislation to officially rename the Gulf and secure funding for new maps and administrative materials. Yes, you heard that right, new maps. Because clearly, the most pressing issue facing the nation is making sure every atlas reflects the Gulf's new, self-proclaimed American identity. While Greene's enthusiasm for the project was evident, it's safe to say that her legislative efforts faced an uphill battle. Remember that whole international law thing we talked about? Yeah, that still applies. Section 7. The Gulf of What Now? Unpacking the implications. So what can we learn from this whole Gulf of America saga? It's a question that delves deep into the heart of international relations and the power of names. For starters, renaming internationally recognized geographical features is a lot more complicated than one might think. It's not just a matter of changing a label on a map. It involves a complex web of agreements, treaties, and historical contexts. It's not just about semantics. It's about diplomacy, international law, and respecting the history and culture of all involved. Each name carries with it a legacy, a story that has been woven into the fabric of international relations. Secondly, while Trump's proposal might have been dismissed by many as another one of his outlandish ideas, it brings to light the power of rhetoric and the influence of political figures in shaping public discourse. It highlights a deeper issue, the delicate balance of power and perception on the global stage. The names we use and the changes we propose can reflect broader geopolitical strategies and intentions. Unilateral actions, even seemingly symbolic ones, can have far-reaching consequences. They can set off a chain reaction, affecting diplomatic relations and international stability, potentially straining relationships and undermining international cooperation. The ripple effects of such actions can be felt across borders, impacting not just governments, but also the lives of ordinary people. In the end, the Gulf of Mexico remains just that, the Gulf of Mexico. But the debate it sparked serves as a potent reminder of the complexities of our interconnected world. The discussions and controversies surrounding it highlight the importance of names and the power they hold in shaping our understanding of the world, and the importance of thoughtful, respectful dialogue in navigating the ever-changing tides of geopolitics. In a world where every action can have global repercussions, it's crucial to approach such matters with care and consideration.